WATP. WATP. What is up, bag slappers, cuzzaroos, rubber dicks? We're all here today. We got a bonus episode wrapping up 2020. What I decided we would do is bring in most of our favorite co-hosts. We got our friend Vinny.
Hey-yo, let's talk some shit.
We got Grosh. Hey-yo. We got Andy, the goat.
I've been cucked.
And, of course, producer Chris.
Hello.
Who's always here. And what I've tasked everybody with doing is picking the worst podcast that we reviewed in 2020. And we're going to go around the room, and each person's going to make an argument for why the show they picked was the worst podcast we reviewed in 2020. Hey! All right.
Coming out swinging.
All right, Andy, what do you got, buddy? What's the worst podcast of 2020?
My nominee, it was on a rocket ship made of money to the moon with a golden parachute and then fucked it all up, and now she's podcasting from her mom's closet in Utah.
It has to be Sophia Franklin.
My candidate is Sophia Franklin.
Sophia with an F.
Sophia with an F. Formerly call her daddy. But
it's a good nominee.
She's already fallen
it's a good pick.
That far. But now she's fallen even further, guys.
She's in the garage?
It's what is the worst part of this podcast? That people just
Carl.
Yeah. She's got a new co-host. It's Carl.
Oh, boy.
But no, everybody's least favorite part of this show is the voicemail segments. Is that right?
I thought the last week's was pretty good. I mean, it's as good as the voicemailers. What can I say?
Her latest episode, it's just strictly a call-in show.
Oh, is it really?
So already a horrible idea.
Yeah, right.
So and
you don't want to get the audience involved. They suck at podcasting.
Oh yeah. Wait, what would you expect if you're like, hey, call me and tell me what you think of my show? Do you think it's all going to be gold? And it's all going to be kind words,
well,
right?
she curates it, I would imagine. She's not like just pulling these up randomly.
Yeah, probably. But, you never know what's going to happen. Let's hear that clip number 1.
I fucking hate you, you fucking waste. You are so desperate and disgusting. You have the biggest fucking head. You're so annoying. Was way fucking better. You're disgusting. You're annoying. You're fucking ugly as shit. Your podcast fucking sucks, and so do you.
That's really on her show?
Yeah.
Wow. It's gotten better.
Is that her old co-host?
Yeah, right.
I think that's my ex-wife.
I've heard that verbatim.
Yeah. It's on your voicemail.
I have that in my text right now, actually.
Yeah, she sounds too cute.
Oh.
So Sophia's.
That's awesome that she played that, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Right, and she's got to clap back, right? Clip 2. It's going to be a great, great retort.
She's had time to figure this out, too.
I know you are.
You're stupid.
Yeah, I do have a big forehead, and you know what? That means I have a bigger brain than your little tiny pea brain. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Charlotte, motherfucker. Guys, every single person has left the chat.
She's gone full Seamus. She's literally responding to bad reviews.
Right. What a great...
A bigger forehead means her brain is bigger?
Right.
No, it means you can have more guys in the bukkake scene.
Right, yeah.
What is she talking about?
What a great third grade level, third degree burn for Sophia.
Oh.
All right. Well, you just when you think it can't get any worse, she's gone from trying to keep it sexy to the polar opposite of that. Clip 3.
The Svedka fart. That's how my mom would always catch me in high school. Drinking. Like a fucking natty light fart. You had a fratty fireball fart. Fratty fireball farter, tongue twister. Everyone try it at home.
Oh my God, this is what you should have opened with to make your case. Did you say Svedka fart?
Yeah.
Followed by natty ice fart.
Right.
Or natty light.
And a fireball fart.
And then a fireball fart.
Yeah. Her mom could always tell she was drunk because of her gas from drinking too much. That's what she was talking about.
All right, Sophia.
Yeah.
Bend over.
She also knew what
Have you been drinking?
She also knew what race of guy she was with when she farted out the cum.
Yeah, but now, her show's just become, that was like a guy calling in saying that he farted on his girlfriend and she dumped him. So, Who's right? Doug is calling into her show now.
Are you saying this show is juvenile? What?
I like to just think about this girl, like 16 years old, just like drunkenly crop dusting her house.
Yeah.
Are you drunk again?
All right. Well, next we got. So
by the way, John C. Dvorak would have heard that and said, "This is art. You don't understand.
That is
This
postmodern.
This is postmodern art that you're not comprehending because no one ever likes postmodern art when it's happening."
Right.
We'll go back, listen to this, and be like, Andy was so wrong about Sophia Franklin.
I know. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
So the next call is this broad wants to know what the best angle for shooting, when you want to videotape yourself masturbating. And she has to go to, like, an expert, her guy friend. Like, what is he like when it comes to
just go to a Camhor site.
Yeah.
They all have the same angle.
Right.
We figured this out. This is not a mystery to men.
Yeah, it's like Google search.
It's a Google search.
This research has been done, yeah.
So clip 4, we're going to hear what the experts think on this subject.
Should I put it from behind my head? No! All right. Producer Chris.
All right.
I tasked you with figuring out what was the worst podcast we reviewed in 2020.
David Lee Roth, The Roth Show, episode 188.
You didn't like that?
Oh, my
I thought
God.
that was a great show.
That was back in January, I want to say, right? That was
It
the beginning
was.
of this
It was
year.
January 12th.
Okay.
And I was not in the WATP studios. I was at home yelling at my laptop in unison with Croge.
Yes.
And I was a fan, and that's the difference. So I think at the very least, me and Carl can side on there was a time where we liked this guy, and holy shit. And you would
I
expect-
still like this guy, just don't want him podcasting.
Nah.
Just sing the hits.
I fell off. I like the first 4 Van Halen albums, and that's it, man. But anyways, we won't go there.
Wait, 1984 doesn't make your list?
Nope.
You motherfucker.
Diver Down does not make the list either.
We are going to have a meeting after this recording.
Coming over the table.
We have a meeting. This is going to be a very important meeting. So far, Chris, you need to be there. I'll let you guys know.
So anyways, this was a podcast that could have been an interesting take from a legendary performer. And we expect this guy to be a jackass anyways. That was his thing.
Right.
And so that is the
Guys,
criteria.
let's not forget, he won Howard Stern's job. And I say won because he didn't earn it.
Well, right.
But let's not forget that this guy was set up to be a radio legend.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
put in all the big markets without having any credibility, without doing anything on the
He's
radio.
a guy who has to be able to kill it in the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pitch it. I bet
Yeah.
he could pitch it like a motherfucker.
He walked in there and was just, hey, I'm Diamond Dave. How you doing?
Hoppity bibbity boppity boppity hoppity bibbity bop. What did he just say? Like, he's got the
Right.
Baby, it's time to
kind of
go
hours
flip
are
the
you looking
burgers.
for?
Let's do it.
So anyways, keeping all that criteria in mind and all that experience, that resume, why would it sound like number 1?
And you can stop lying because I led an entire generational prison break right out the door, and their sons and daughters. If you don't know me, your dad and your mom and your stepmom and your other dad do. So stop lying.
And I spit on your grave, Eddie. Like, what is he
Literally.
yelling about?
With that saliva sound, by the way, it's incredible.
Why
that-
does he start off the show explaining that he's famous?
Yeah.
Like, we know.
The resume thing is amazing, and it never stops.
Jesus Christ.
Probably some kid in line at 7-Eleven was like, who are you? And he has
Yeah.
like Opie, remember when Opie went to the stores, like showing pictures on his phone of who he used to be?
I mean, David Lee Roth kind of looks like Hulk Hogan when he's not done up at this stage. He probably thought he was a pro wrestler.
They've got the same hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
He saw some kid banging his head to Van Hagar, and he's like, whoa.
How dare you?
All right, so we're going to fly through these because the DLR is just going to win this contest for me.
Okay.
Let's go to number 2.
And I became a millionaire rock star. And those kids threw their hands up and laughed. They had no idea who I was, but they knew that job description. And I paid for burgers that night. That's in my voice.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Are his teeth in when he's talking?
Everything with him is a non sequitur. Everything. There's never a point.
Yeah.
It's never like, oh, we got off the beaten path. There is no path.
Right, that is a good point. I should explain that this podcast is nothing but that.
Yes.
Side by side, edited by someone who didn't care about equalizing it or doing any of that.
Of course, producer Chris is going to shit on the production.
Yep.
And that's coming from me. I got no mic control. No, I'm not an audio engineer. I'm not funny.
Shh. Don't tell everyone your secret. Vinny, you're up next, my friend.
Right. I'm out.
Let's find out. Great presentation there, producer Chris. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well done.
Let's see who Vinny thinks.
He didn't cross anything off of a list once.
Oh, well, he doesn't. He's not doing it right.
All right. So, Mike, I almost said Mike Creep this week, but yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this. The way I picked this was very simple. Which one of these people has caused me the most emotional pain
Okay.
this year?
Yeah.
Because I've done the show a couple of times this year, and I listened to a Scooby-Doo podcast once. I've listened to some stupid shit, but nothing has hurt my soul more than goddamn Tom Myers versus the rest of the fucking world.
And that's why I brought you on for that episode, because I wanted to torture you, and it worked.
And I was not happy. It stuck with me. And I put out this week on Twitter, like, hey, anybody thoughts on what they think is the worst? And he came up, and then I got triggered. I was like, oh, that's fucking right. I'm going with this asshole. So here's the good thing.
Yes.
His show's only 30 minutes long.
Correct. Exactly 30 minutes
And it's
long.
edited fucking to 30 minutes no matter what.
Yeah.
And here's what was made this really easy, an easy choice, is when I looked at what the newest episode of Tom Myers versus the World was, it was his best of.
Oh, he's already got a best of out?
There's 7 episodes of the show.
God.
And he
That's
released
amazing.
the best of. And listen to him explain it. Here, hit my number 1.
Although we only did 6 episodes this year, we discussed a lot, from the COVID pandemic to the presidential election and its aftermath. Here are the best moments from this year, plus some bits that didn't quite make the initial airings.
Ooh, outtakes too? Ooh. Outtakes from this shitty show?
Jesus fucking
Carl.
Can I point that
That's
out?
all he talked about in his 6 episodes.
Can I point that out? He goes, we talked about everything. COVID, the election, that's all anyone talked about.
That's all the episodes have been.
That's not impressive.
Yeah.
Now-
I talk about that. We're supposed to be talking about podcasts. I talked about that.
Can I point out that he was saying that over an Isotopes track?
Yeah, his music is odd. It's an odd choice for this show. It's like, get ready for this political show. But dear. It sounds like a Christmas song.
Now, I want you to keep in mind that every clip that I pulled made his best of episode.
Right.
So
Let's keep
I
that
want
in
that to
mind.
be said.
Okay.
Now, what I did here is it wouldn't be his show without his great jokes. So could you hit my number 2 clip for me?
It looks like Trump will retire like most aging white New Yorkers, move to Florida, play golf, and bitch about non-whites, the ones who don't change his linens.
I just made sure that you all heard the extent of the laughter
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
people that are in this show. Okay? I called that one low-hanging fruit. Because that's
You don't
all
think it's
these
a
jokes are.
well-crafted joke?
No, I
Vinny?
think it's just a snarky remark. I don't think it's a fucking joke.
You know what? That's a really good way. Snarky remark is what his entire act is.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's a snarky little fucking bald asshole.
Because as we've pointed out before, he thinks he's Bill Maher, but he has zero wit.
But you know what he does have, Carl?
What does he have?
He has versatility. Hit my clip 3. You listen to him do a great voice.
There is the Republican-backed, by way of Russian intelligence agency's Green Party, with its presidential candidate, Howie Hawkins. Howie. Howie is not the name of a world leader. Howie is your neighbor's 9-year-old kid who tries to sell you $5 chocolate bars so his soccer team can go play in a tournament out of state. Would you like to buy a chocolate bar, Chancellor Merkel?
Oh, no.
Yep. All of that set up to get to, you want to buy a chocolate bar?
But that's the thing, though, too, because you understand how comedy works. If you're going to do the impression, have a joke that adds to it.
Right.
He just repeated the same thing. He's like, you know, these kids are just selling chocolate bars.
Right.
Here's my impression of that. Do you want to buy a chocolate
Yeah.
bar?
Howie Hawkins, the guy he's running for the Green Party, he sounds like my neighbor's 9-year-old kid selling chocolate. That's the joke. If you're going to do the joke, tighten it the fuck up.
Yeah. So he could go
Bald
get
little
molested
prick.
by his coach.
So you're saying word
Cross
economy.
that off a list. How did you have that on a list? Word economy is always his
Always a
fucking
problem, yeah.
Always his problem. Now, I want you to hear just the great laugh track from these co-hosts. Here you go. Hit number 4.
COVID-19 is now a major cause of death among Americans. That's great news for tobacco company executives who are finally relieved to be bumped off the top of the list.
Oh, man.
That guy, what I love about that clip is she laughed and then he felt obligated to add the exact same fucking shit laugh. I'd rather be stabbed like Julius Caesar on a stage than have people fucking laugh like that.
That is called pity laugh.
Yeah.
It's worse than no laughter at all. much worse.
And these are the people he chose to surround himself with on the show.
Just
Now,
shut up.
He promised you unreleased clips, guys.
Oh, good.
He promised you unreleased
What
clips.
doesn't make the cut on this show? I have to know.
It's these gems that, sometimes he has to cut them for time because they had to be 30 minutes long.
I'm gonna cut it for time on my podcast.
I simply call this clip chemistry.
Okay.
But she's defending America against Chuck Schumer. And why did she pick Chuck Schumer, folks? Because he's Jewish. That's why.
Oh.
And she's got the charisma of a prostate exam.
Yeah. Not one you schedule, but one like you're just walking along,
something the wrong way.
Walking down the street one day, and then a prostate jumps out of the bushes.
Folks, you just saw people put together a good joke there, because Jay said she has the charisma of a prostate exam, and then Violet made the joke better by saying it's a unscheduled prostate exam.
And Jeff ruined it by explaining how the joke just worked.
And then I just ruined it. That's right. But Tom will edit that out, so no one will know what I just did.
Leave that in.
At the very least, it will go in the best of and unheard clip section.
That's for the Patreons.
Patreon!
That's the funniest joke they've done the whole show.
Patreon! You think we're going to pay for this? Vinny pulls up Tom Myers versus the rest of the world as his nominee. All good nominations so far. Croge is up next. Croge, what did you settle it on, my friend, and what was your rationale for this?
All right, so I made my choice. I texted it out. I'm thinking to myself, man, am I going to be able to pull enough clips to convince the jury here that this is the worst one? And so I skipped through the fucking ads, and I finally get to the first conversation, and I'm going to let them introduce it. I wouldn't normally play a clip like this, but this is literally how they start the fucking show. This is the first conversation. This is the beginning of the show. This is their introduction to their fucking show.
Number one?
Yes, please.
All right, welcome to another Two Bears, One Cave. Bert, you're going to chug.
Is that Sophia's vagina?
Yeah.
People are going to be really surprised to find out that isn't beer.
By the way, I was in therapy.
Yeah.
And I was drinking one of these, and I'm putting them down like that, and my therapist is like, "Holy shit!" And I go, "Oh, they're water."
Okay, Two Bears, One Cave.
Yeah.
We got our pals Bert and Tom. Now, they've made some sort of change because most of the episodes now are Bert, like, interviewing someone else, like Whitney Cummings or Dr. Drew. Holy fuck, dude. It is the most boring shit
so
you
Tom's
could fucking imagine.
Tom's not on the show?
So
He's the talented one.
So this episode is Bert and Tom. This is from 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So they're like mixing it up or something. I don't give a fuck. I don't care enough to
it's
fucking research
fine.
what's going on. But so right in the beginning of the show, we got him pounding a can of water and then making a therapy joke. It's all good. Now, listen, Carl, we reviewed one a few months ago, and they were trying different peanut butters.
Yeah.
Well, hold on to your fucking ass, because now they're going to drink some water.
Here we go.
It's
Ready?
really, I mean, it is just water. It goes down faster, right? I love this. This makes me so happy. Yeah, right?
It does go down easier.
Dude, they're sampling water in front of a microphone in a studio and then putting it on the internet. Guys, this is a podcast where we drink water. And then we say, boy, this is like drinking water. This is their fucking show. This is a popular show. It's loaded with advertisements.
Who's the guy who's
It's got
laughing at
tons of
that in the background? Does anybody know?
Oh, we'll get to
Probably
him.
Josh Potter.
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
Did
No,
they
fuck,
come
it
to
sure
a
is.
conclusion about
that
which?
fucking kid
That
is
kid-
sitting there laughing.
Less maniacally at anything they do, as Crows just pointed out, chugging water is hilarious to Josh Potter.
Here we are again, guys, making fun of a show that is of higher quality than this one.
So let's skip ahead if we could to my number 4.
Yeah.
I got 2 examples of somebody says something that's not funny. It's not even meant to be funny. It's not a joke. There's no humor in it. It's not parody. It's not even a fucking. It's nothing. And someone just fucking explodes in the background. And you'll hear I do a volume boost, but this isn't me sweetening it. This is me making audible their fucking terrible show.
And I just was like, I really was like, who's drinking water?
Do you remember?
All right. The next one
How
is
much acid does he take before he comes on this show?
I can't. And he's exploding with laughter. It's not even like the polite laughter that Tom Myers get. This guy is like, who drinks water? It's so
Robin
sad.
Quivers is like, dude, calm down.
That's too much.
Anyway, I love old guys and their medical shit, but you know what I love even fucking more? Old guys Googling shit. Hit it, Carl.
I don't know.
Does chloroform work the way it does in a movie? Hey, type in video of a person getting chloroformed.
Oh yeah, is there a YouTube video of that?
Yeah. Hey, this is unboxing. I just got chloroform. I'm going to chloroform my wife. Making chloroform?
No. Don't want to show you making it. I want to see it being administered. So, yeah. That might be a little too old. Maybe let's look for a more modern version of it. There's got to be something recent, right?
The problem is, are you on YouTube right now?
Yeah. It's gotta be. There's
There we
gotta
go.
be a.
It's endless.
So this is one of those things,
It's
Croge.
endless.
I don't blame you, but this is one of those things where it's so bad it's making our show worse. Now it's getting to the point where our show is boring because we're pointing out how boring this show is.
Yeah.
How many millions of views does that podcast have?
It's crazy. Their audience is huge. It's in the top list of comedy.
They get
shows,
700,000
which
views on YouTube in the first day when they put these things out.
Yeah.
You know that motherfucker has another show? Has anybody seen
Bert?
that commercial?
Yes.
They have
You can say that
multiple
at
shows.
any time.
Yeah.
He has another show, and it's true. It's always true.
I don't get it.
Whoever likes this show, whoever's listening to the show, and there's a lot of you out there,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the head trauma. Please fucking kill yourself. We don't need you anymore.
That leaves me. This is the last one that we'll be voting on. And this was back, we reviewed this back in February of 2020. It was a suggestion that came in from my good friend, Drew Lane from the Drew and Mike Show. And man, was he right that this was one. What are you complaining about over there, Vinny?
Pick those names up, Carl.
My good friend Drew Lane suggested that we do this show. And I think you guys will agree. This guy has no business podcasting.
What's up, guys? D-Rod, better known as Dennis Rodman. Guess what, guys? It's another episode of On the Rebound.
So Dennis Rodman is a podcast called On the Rebound. And obviously they came up with the name of it before the concept. They're like, well, it's got to be On the Rebound because it's Dennis Rodman. He's the best rebounder in NBA history.
I say we call it the Dennis Rodman Show.
Yeah, that would have been better because then they could have done anything. But because it's On the Rebound, he interviews couples. Basically what he does is he brings in the girl and talks to the girl for 15 minutes. And he brings in the guy, talks to him for 8 minutes because he's not as interested. And then he brings them both in together and talks to both of them about what he just had conversations
Dennis
about.
Rod, the guy that has multiple failed relationships, is giving relationship advice.
He's only failed relationships.
Right.
That's all he is failed relationships. And he's going to go there and give these people advice. And Dennis Rodman, the girl walks in. This is a 31-year-old blonde attorney from L.A. She's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I watched this on YouTube. She walks in. Rodman gets so flustered that she's attractive. He ends up calling her his name.
Wow, look at this woman. Wow, look at this right here. This is fun, huh? Yeah, Dennis. I mean, yeah, Dennis. That's my name, damn it. I'm looking at you. She's all good looking at shit. What the fuck? It's so confused.
You look like me when I wore that wig and wedding dress.
An attractive girl turns him into an 8th grader with acne on the bus.
Yeah.
He's flustered. This is a guy who has fucked Madonna, Toni Braxton, Vivica Fox, Jenny McCarthy, and Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Just to name a few. His team photo is fucking impressive.
He's heroic.
This girl walks in, he's like, hey, what's your name, Dennis? My name's Dennis too. Oh, it's not Dennis? Oh, shit. What I mean. And then
That's just part of his charm.
And then he's not charming. And then he asked the dumbest question. This girl's name is Kristen. Okay? And he wants to get to the bottom of how does she spell that name?
All right. So anyway, so what's your name, Mike?
My name is Kristen.
Kristen, huh? With a C or K?
With a K.
K, right? KR.
KRISTEN.
IN. Okay, Kristen.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
You know, that's the shit he does at bars when he walks up to women. Because he's fucking Dennis Rodman, he assumes that they're all going to be flustered to meet him.
Yeah.
And then when he takes just a little bit of interest about something stupid, he just thinks...
Can I ask you guys this?
That's his charm, man.
Have
That's
you
what
ever
he
known a
does.
Kristen that wasn't spelled with a K? That's a dumb question, right? Kristen is spelled with a K.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then is it K or C or K? And then he has to like try to spell the whole thing out. Like, oh, I thought that conversation was over. We're still talking about her name? That was the first question that he had for her. So, she is an attorney, as I mentioned, and she talks about what type of
Was
law...
the next question, how's your credit? Like, what was he gonna, why was he trying to spell her name?
Yeah.
I have no idea. They talk about her age, and they talk about their he doesn't know how to talk to people. He doesn't have questions written down like Patty Seacups does.
What's your mom's maiden name? And your social security number?
Yeah, right.
He's stealing her identity.
What's your favorite password? So she explains that she's an attorney.
I do insurance coverage, so I mostly represent insurance companies.
So Dennis Rodman, so she works at a law firm, and Dennis Rodman doesn't understand how to ask, what types of clients do you work with? So this is this mumble-mouthed idiot trying to ask that question.
Right.
Super interesting, huh?
Right. So you do corporations, just independent businesses, or like, you know, what do you do? Like homes, residentials? Where you at?
No, we're representing the insurance company against its insureds.
I saw
So
Shaq
explain
with
that.
the general. Okay, do you need a spokesperson?
And that's the other thing, by the way, how you know Dennis Rodman is a bubble mouth motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because you don't ever see him on NBA anything.
No.
You never
Yeah.
see him doing anything on television with sports. Nothing.
He
Vinny.
famously can't talk.
He's brain damaged.
Yeah, no shit.
I honestly think the
So's
booze-
Charles Barkley, but he's on like 3 times a fucking week.
I honestly think there's no way when this guy was banging Madonna in 1994. Guys, we're all thinking about Madonna in 2020. It's terrible. 1994 Madonna.
I only think about 94 Madonna.
Yes, good. I just want to point this out for the kids out there. This chick used to be hot.
Croge is into like 78 Madonna.
All right, for Chris, Andy, Vinny, Croge, I'm Carl. Thanks for hanging out.
This is it. It's over. Okay? Goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, goodbye.